I want you. I mean, I'm doing what I said I built this platform on, and it's sometimes having those uncomfortable conversations. And one of these topics tonight is I'm going to dabble in, and I know it's going to be a little uncomfortable. Stay on the block, okay? It's experience this. I just don't even have words. But you're an amazing woman. And I'm sorry, Kenya, when you tried to justify it, say she signed a lease and it's just documentation. I'm sorry, it's not. Brittany buried what she wanted to have buried and sealed to never be opened, no matter what the case may be. So whatever private investigator you hired is illegal, and they did what they did because they knew how to get beyond the gates of what she put on them. And you wanted that because you wanted to go to hell, like Cynthia said. So it wasn't. All right, y'all. It's Thursday night. Y'all know what time it is. Listen, you see the cover. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, now honestly listening, if you have kids, put them to bed a little early tonight. If you can hear me, crew, let me see you drop. What we gonna drop for tonight's conversation? We need to drop something for tonight's conversation. You know what? Actually, we need to get this room filled up. Okay, what we doing? What we doing? We need to get the people in the room, okay? So send this out. Let everybody know that your boy is live. It's Thursday night. Yeah, buddy. It's time to get it in. I know y'all have been waiting on this one. Okay? Uh-oh. I'm a little confused on what's going on. Where we at? 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 Yeah. I had to change the setting. I know this lighting is a little weird, but for tonight's conversation, it's just this. Okay? Like, okay. So y'all know I'm working multiple things here. So I want to make sure. Okay. Okay. So what's going on, y'all? It's Thursday. Can y'all hear me? Is this thing on? I ain't gonna steal the TS line. But I just want to make sure. Can y'all hear me? I'm here. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Hey. It's my girl. All right, y'all. Get in the building. Come on. We got some things to talk about. Okay. I'm keeping the light in this setting for tonight because, let me just say that. This is, I want to approach this conversation with sensitivity, but we do need to kind of like breathe at times because I'm warning you now, it's going to be a little heavy. And what I'm getting ready to do and how I'm getting ready to do it, we want to make sure that I'm saying things carefully. And with me saying things carefully, I'm going to have to dramatize a little bit. Okay? For the sake of YouTube. Now, I really need to get on my stuff because Patreon, people are telling me the streets over there are calling me. And so I need to really get on my stuff because if I was on Patreon, I would give y'all this, the real, the raw, and the document way. Like, it's just no other way to give it to you. But because we over here on YouTube and we on Instagram, and tonight my Twitch is tripping, but we'll get over there back on Twitch, and we on Facebook. We got everybody that are just holier than thou over here. But I'm still going to give it to you my way. And in giving it to you that way, I have to give it like that because it's heavy, y'all. The things that have been said in this 4-day trial so far is heavy, okay? And if y'all are just joining me, what's going on with y'all? If you don't know what tonight's getting ready to be about, let me pop it back on the screen. This was my official trial video screen, okay? I play too much, don't I? Listen, ooh, did I go there? Okay, y'all. Like he said, shh. I've got my notes. You know what I need to do really quickly? I need to go get me something to drink because I feel like I'm going to be talking a lot and I just want to make sure I don't dry out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to... Do I have the video? Let me see. I don't, but I'm going to just put this promo up really quickly so I can go get me something to drink, and then we about to get into this conversation. While I'm doing that, you need to make sure you send this video out to about 5 more people. Yes, 5 more people. I want to fill the room up tonight because I don't know if y'all been following the trial, but I'm going to give you some reliable stuff. I am going to dramatize it a bit because for the sake of YouTube and because it's heavy, but I'm going to tell you what's been said out of the mouth. And yes, I have to say it's all alleged, but y'all know that I'm getting some real information. Okay, I'm giving y'all the raw conversation. Okay, so while I get some drinks, let's run this intro video back one more time, and I'll be right back. Let's do it.
Just know I'm proud of you. Till ain't no hoes, but they swole. What is you coming to? Run up and check up on my own seat. Why they niggas tryna flex up on me? Ain't no flexing my blessings and ain't no stressing no. Subtle flexing, yeah, I do it on the regular.
All right, y'all. I know that picture is throwing y'all off. I know that picture is throwing y'all. But listen, this conversation is gonna kind of throw you a bit more than the picture that I done put up. Okay, all right. Sit back. Whew, wet the whistle. All right, you're getting ready to gag. If y'all haven't been watching anybody else, which, I don't mind, but just respect the loyalty. Stay with the crew. You can watch other people, but make sure you like this video right now. Everybody that's in here, come on, give me a like. Thank you. Make sure you comment. And then even to do me another one, because y'all just love me that much, make sure y'all comment after the video too. Just throw in like something that you really just felt like you want to say. We're going to have to, I said I was going to do this day by day, but I just was really getting involved. And then tomorrow, you know what? Ooh, excuse me. I had to go get something burpy. I should have just got some water so I don't have to be burping throughout the whole thing. But tomorrow we'll be back. So set your reminders. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock to cover day 5. Okay? But right now we are 4 days in. Okay? And I just want y'all to sit back while I scoot up and take a ride with me. Okay, here we go. Well, it started off this Monday, all right? From what I have heard out there in the streets, opening statements, prosecution killed the defense, okay? Now, if you haven't been following the news, it's been a lot of speculation about this prosecution team of women. Someone made a spectate that it's a 6-pack of white women, and it was a racial slur. But these are some very smart women, okay? And one of the main ones, she has a very powerful father behind her. So let's not go there and play the game. We really know that if the state, because let's keep it clear, this is the Diddy trial, the United States versus Diddy. This is not a Cassie and Diddy trial. Okay, I think people are a lot confused by that. And this is not a Cassie and Diddy trial. This is the United States versus Diddy. Okay, so we start there. Now, we know that if the government would have laid this on anybody's desk that was of our color, we probably wouldn't have executed it to where it needed to be. Okay, now I'm not just saying we're the ones, but yeah, you could have got a 6-pack of white men and they probably would have took a bunch of payoffs and did what they had to do just to get it to where it would. So, let's lay off of the women, okay? Let's honor the women and let's see where these women are really going to go and how they're going to get this case and if they're really going to get to stick the racketeering, sex trafficking, and arsoning. Those are the charges, summed up, okay? And I'm going to break down on how I've seen each charge so far play out. And then today, the defense, I heard, showed up and threw balls in the court. Literally all in her face, okay? It was just bad. It was just bad. But some of the stuff that I'm going to express to you, I'm going to have to give a fantasy to. And you go ahead and take your adult, mature mind and go there and you know what it is, okay? Like I said, it is a lot. And opening statements opened up. And I heard that they killed the defense, okay? So here we are, day 1. And I'm going to kind of jump all, you know how I do. So just stay along with me on the journey, okay? I'll pop back in, get some questions, read some comments. But we about to get into some things. So, prosecution opened up on day 1. And the defense didn't stand a chance, okay? From what Kathy said. Now, there was a lot of things she said. So here's one of the things. And this is kind of how I'm going to tell the story. I'm not going to tell it in chronological order as far as like how they asked her and all that kind of stuff. Because the transcripts, if you're smart enough like I am to go get them, you can do that. You can get on Instagram. Some people are posting certain parts of the transcripts. of the court because there are no cameras allowed in the courtroom. And so we're just getting this by transcripts and also people that are in the courtroom. Shout out to Lauren LaRosa and Armand Wiggins, y'all. They are in the court getting this detailed information bit by bit. Now, I had this whole costume that I wanted to put on and get into, and it would have really explained a part of this whole freak off that we're going to talk about. But I decided not to go there because I don't want this video to look like I want to make humor of what Cassie went through by any means necessary. No, it's not a joke at all. There's been women that have went through abuse, similar abuse, and it's just not okay. By powerful men with money, okay? Whether they're black, white, Asian, green, purple, blue, or wicked, okay? It's just not okay. So I didn't want to go there with all the theatrics and stuff like that because we really need to see this detail and we really need to understand what's happening, because if he didn't do it, he didn't do it. But if he did do it, he did it, and we need to make sure Diddy serves the time that he did. Now, Wendy Williams said Diddy done did it and Diddy is done. But we got to go through trial and figure it and let it play all out and let it go for what it's going to be. So here we go. Back to it. She said that at times he was very scary, okay? When he got violent, his eyes would go dark, okay? And she said at times if he didn't want to do it, he would find somebody else just to make it happen. So let me start with day one, okay? And I'm going with a lot of this off the top of my head, but again, this is all alleged because I don't ever want to be a Tasha K, okay? Hello. So know that I do my work diligently, but this is all alleged, okay? Because I ain't sitting in the courtrooms, and at the end of the day, I don't want to be sued. So there are some names. I'm not gonna do names. Just stay with me, okay? So on day one, male escort one took the stand, okay? And he goes by the name of DP, okay? That's what we're gonna call him. Not double, but just a name, okay? Although there was a lot of DPing going on. Take your mature minds there. He takes the stand. Now, when he takes the stand, mind you, that also on Monday, we also had to finalize our jury earlier that morning. So earlier that morning, they finalized the jury, which the jury is 4 white men, 4 black men, 2 black women, 2 white women. Okay? All of different ages, all of different demographics. Okay? From what I hear, from old to young, to like hoodie wearing, to suit wearing, just different. Old women, young women, just it's a diverse jury. Okay, that's enough said with that. So on day one, DP male one, escort one, took the stand, and he pretty much in the prosecution's storyboard, they are saying and giving his story and kind of setting him up to be the first one to describe what a freak off is. So he says, I get a call from my boss, and at this point I'm told that, hey, there's a bachelor party, some women, this is what they're offering, go do your thing. When he gets that information, he goes ahead and goes. Okay, he goes ahead and goes. Yeah, I did that. Okay, because I'm my adrenaline and everything is rushed with this, so I'm really trying to take my time so you can follow along. But oh my God, this is just, it's a lot. So he says, when I get to the door, I'm greeted by a woman in a wig. Okay, her name probably was Jackie Star, aka Cassie. Now, I'm going to say their names because the public knows these people. Anybody other than that, I won't be mentioning. I'm going to give them names, and you just pay attention to the names. But Jackie Star, which was one of her names, opens the door in a nice wig, lingerie, robe, says, come on in. He says, when I walk in, I see a man in the corner. And she, before he could even say anything, oh, that's my husband. So they were already going by basis of husband and wife, okay? Let me paint that, because I think that's very important, how quick she was to just say, oh, it's not my boyfriend, it's not my man, or that's my partner. No, it's my husband. Okay? And he's not gay. Okay? No, he's not. And why he probably would have thought that is because I'm getting ready to tell you what this man in the corner is sitting in and what he's wearing. So when male escort begins to describe what the room and everything looked like, he said there's candles lit, there's a good smell, and he always loved things to smell good. Okay? We're talking about Diddy at this point. So the ambiance had to be right. Okay, this is what prosecution is setting up. He said, and then, well, they say, well, back to the, and then again, this is me telling the story, okay, but this is not in chronological order, and this is all alleged because I wasn't sitting in the courtroom. But this is what's going on. They said, well, go back to that man that you said in the corner. What about that man? Prosecution. Male escort says, oh, well, there was this man in the corner, and he had on a bandana, dark shades, a hat, and a robe. Nothing on underneath the robe. And he said, I just seen them sitting in the corner. At this time, I'm guessing somewhere in the conversation, prosecutor asked him, did you know that was Diddy? He said, no, I didn't. So then he furthermore probably goes on to describe what happens. Now, we're going to tell his story, but then I'm also going to tell you how Cassie, the next victim to take the stand after him this first day too, explains by detail the freak-offs. Okay? But this is just the male escort one. So, he says, pretty much, I'm setting up a story, okay? Let me set up a story. He comes in, it smells good. He sees the man, he takes a seat. He says, we were sitting there, and then pretty much things took off. Okay? This male escort not only showed up for that one time, but he became pretty much a familiar customer. Okay? But later on down in his story, he said it got to a point though one time where I couldn't get my horse up. Okay? He just wouldn't get up. And so, prosecution, they want to know your business. Okay? If you ever been on trial, if you ever been in the jury, if you ever been in the courtroom, prosecution wants the details and they want to get in your business. And it's the defense job to pretty much make you say everything you did when you really did it out of another place, okay? But that's the defense job, to flip the story back on you. And that's important. You'll watch why I say that, because day 4, that's exactly what they went in there and did to Cassie. Hold on, we're going to get there. So, back to the male escort one. He said, yeah, it got to a point in time where my horse just wouldn't get up. And they said, well, why? He said, well, it was one time where we did it. And then I had to sit in the room and they went off into the bedroom. Who is they? Cassie and Diddy. And then all of a sudden, I hear a "What's love got to do with it" moment. Boom, 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 boom. He said, and that just turned me off. And the next thing you know, doors come open. Poof! Kathy comes running out. Whew! In his arms. Oh! And he said, I felt bad for her because I know what I heard. And then I'm looking at her, seeing what I see. But then this is what I didn't like about that nasty male escort. He says, after sitting there for a while, though, my horse said, and woke back up. And then we did it. But I noticed that while we were doing it, behind the bedroom door, somebody was peeking with their bandana on, their glasses, and they robe, and they hat, and they robe kind of cocked open, and they was having a good sex on the beach, stroking down the road. Okay? Whoa! But he kept going. Okay? So, after a while, I think personally, they got tired of that male escort one. And so, that was all prosecution needed from them. Him. Okay? So, I'm pretty assuming lunch recess, we come back in. Now, Cassie Ventura is set to take the stand. Now, here we go. When Cassie takes the stand, they tell Cassie, well, take us to that day when you guys first met male escort 1. Okay? DP. Now, you can find his name because they have said it. So if you know when I'm saying DP and you find his real name, you can be like, okay, he's been paying attention. So Cassie, take us back to that day that you guys had your first freak off. What was that about? How was that? This is, again, allegedly me dramatizing the story, but I've been doing my homework. So don't not credit me, okay? She says, well, we were in a hotel, and I answered the door, and I answered the door in a wig and some lingerie, and he came in, and you know, like I said, she did that whole rundown. If you don't remember, rewind the video and then catch back up. So then they're asking her, okay, well, you know what, okay, can you describe to us, what is a freak off? Here we go, y'all. This is where it's heavy. Stay with me, because I got to tell this story in a certain way. But this is where it gets a little heavy. She says, well, and this is just me paraphrasing for the sake of time, but I'm getting ready to break you down how Cassie told us a freak off takes place. Well, the first session, we sit there and we kind of like get to know each other because we want to make sure this is not an undercover. All right? So, small talking, turning on the warmers, changing the lights, candles still smelling. And then I get to talking and rubbing. Now, I'm not telling it how Cassie said it. This is just me telling it in a Tubi movie version that they gonna drop once all of this is over with. I shouldn't settle myself for Tubi, though. I think I'm gonna be more so on HBO Max. But for the sake of this purpose, because, you know, we got to give it on YouTube as a Tubi version. So, y'all remember when this whole thing blew up and they ceased thousands of bottles of baby oil and we took our minds to all the crazy places? Well, the baby oils never had any drugs in them. That came out within these 4 days. But what did he do with the baby oil? So as Cassie is telling us how session 1 goes, and I bet y'all are wondering, like, why do you got this nigga in a baby pool sitting with the baby oil saying, hush? Well, remember those warmers I told y'all about that I said in the story that was clicking and turning on? Well, Cassie said we would use about 10 bottles of baby oil in one session. And in these sessions, the baby oil has to be warm. Oh, man. What? Yeah, I went there. I didn't go there. They went there. I don't know about y'all if y'all putting y'all baby oil in warmers, but I bet some of y'all gonna try it after this, huh? Don't you call it a Diddy moment. Don't have no red lights. Give it a whole nother different setting, because things will never be the same no more after this trial. We'll have movies and documentaries and everything else coming from it. We never thought Cassie would be the one to blow the lid off the cover. So anyway, session 1 starts off. And at some point, Cassie says, well, we turn on the warmers, getting that oil hot, and I step into a pool full of baby oil, warmed up, and Astroglide. And I'm not lubricant. Baby oil and lubricant. Okay? I need y'all to share this video. I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, talk to me. Are y'all in here with me still? I know it's heavy. Take a deep breath. So Cassie says she's getting ready to get into this pool, and she starts to shiny herself up. Okay? Meanwhile, because this is important and I forgot to add, DP said in his testimony that I didn't know who the man was in the corner until I heard him talk. He said, I heard him start speaking, and I said, oh, wait a minute. Allegedly, that sounds like Diddy. But of course, we know that as time went on and he became a familiar customer, Diddy came out of the bandana, the glasses, the hat, and at one point, DP and Diddy joined in together. Now, yes, I know a lot of y'all want to go there. Oh, Diddy is GA. He is GA. He is GA. No, we cannot say that. Because yet, even still in this trial, 4 days in, no one has said that Diddy has bent a man over or got bent over. It actually has been said around on day 2, and I'm going to jump to it. We're going to get to it. I'm going to just jump right here. That he even got mad at one of the escorts. This is probably escort 3 or 4, okay? Because he was looking at him. I'm going to go there. So, back to session 1. She's getting all oiled up. And invites him in. Come here, baby. So at this point, they're just rubbing oil on each other. And Diddy is in the back, landing and stroking the eagle. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta just say it the way I best can. I hope your kids are not up. And do not be watching this around kids. This is not, the trial is not for them. So they're lathering up. And at some point, baby oil it's gonna sink in. Oh, wait. Dip again. This is Diddy. Dip again. More. Shiny. I need you to be glistening like hot chicken grease. Or the grease from a chicken. Okay? Coming out of the hot grease. Dip your body. This is all session 1. Session 2 now, because they've made sure ain't no badge fell out of his pocket. He ain't wired because we fully oiled. All right. He's the real escort. Let's get into session 2. Session 2, we just gonna say, for the sake of everybody over here, it went down. Okay, session 2, it goes down. Now, session 3, I'm gonna save for you because I'm gonna put a pin in this. Cassie said, they said, how many sessions would you have? She says, it depends. It depends on how many escorts were invited to the party. This is what he wanted. Now, I'm going to take you through this journey too. Some people are like, how is she holding up? Cassie is 8 months pregnant, on trial, and they said she's doing pretty good. She cried at some point. She's still, in a sense, when that man looks at her, because they said Diddy stares at her as if he is, like, if he could, he probably would get up and say, you say another word. He's staring. He don't take his eyes. Now, mind you, day 1, his entire family was in the courtroom. The kids had to get up at some point, though. They got up at some point, not because they were crying and emotional, but I think just the details just got a little heavy. Now, I'm not going to go into any details when it comes to the kids because they are off limits. They didn't ask for any of this. I honestly don't think they should even be in there. But because the defense feels like, hey, we need to see a united front, you all show up, show that you support him, that is why they're there. Now, them young girls, I will not touch and talk about at all. And I may mention one thing about one particular child, but it's just because I kind of want to know their stance. But let me take you back to Cassie. How many would happen? Well, it depends. How many people were ever invited to the party? Now, Cassie really loved Diddy, y'all. She really did. Okay? He met this woman when she was 19. And the abuse started getting really bad by the time she was 22. By the time she was 29, he was doing a number on her. And it was bad then. And in 2018 is when, between 2017 and 2018, that's when things really started to cease and die down, and she wanted to find a way out with the trainer. We'll get to him too today, because he got hot today. He was as red as these lights from what I heard, and as red as his background. I'm going to tell you why. But she says, yeah, it depends on how many people were invited to the party. Now, if there were multiple people invited to the party, I want y'all to just know that there were multiple sessions. She said there will be multiple sessions. We would all probably start off with session 1. And then session 2, I'm going down the line. She even went to far as saying that at times, and this is probably every time allegedly, he wanted her to describe what she was doing. Yeah, you like that? You get where I'm going. I don't need to go no further. Yeah, you like, and yes, he had a preference. Okay, he had a choice on all of these escorts. There were many. I'm sorry, y'all. It was many. I can't even put a number. It was a lot. And he, in the beginning, only wanted a specific type. Now, yes, Cassie made sure that she let us know that he was in control of it all. Racketeering. She also let us know that I was also told at 19 that I'm going to give you albums, music videos, a career. You are beautiful. You sing, you dance. Cassie really just wanted a career. She wanted to use the gift that God gave her to sing on stage and really be up there with the Sierras, with the Beyoncés, with the girls of the girls, Carrie Hilson, Ashanti, all of them. She wanted to be in the number. And he seen that and he knew I can make it happen, baby. That's what he said. I got you. Say less. But little did she know what she was signing up for, y'all. She really fell in love with this man. You tell me when you fell in love at 19 how it was serious you was taking love. Compared to where you are at the age now, go back to that 19-year-old that was in love with somebody and you knew you shouldn't have been with them. So this is where I want y'all to lean into and understand that you're going to hear some things that's going to probably even incriminate Cassie in this trial. But we've got to look at the picture. Okay? So, depending on how many men it is, that's how many sessions it would be. All right? Let me take some comments real quick, because we getting there. We getting there. Let's see. Not dip again. Yeah. That's so sad. It is. Yeah, she did. Oh, we gonna get into it. He can't stop her now. Now, Cassie was Diddy's daughter's age when on. See? Well, but no, because it gets very deep. Okay? I think at just a certain point, they shouldn't have been in there to hear any of this. Yeah, and holding the record deal over her head at 19. You know, it just wasn't okay. Right? So, you know what? Let me make sure. Okay. So, now, we know about DP. We know Cassie said that there was multiple men. Okay? There goes the trafficking. But then we got to go, why? Well, why is the trafficking? So at some point, the prosecution got into details about things. Cassie said, freak off identities. They wore masks, and then we would wear wigs. Most part to just see through the fishnet, okay? When it came to her attire, she was shopping at stores. She would get lingerie from stores like Hustler and the Pleasure Chest. He wanted to make sure before every freak off that she was freshly waxed, shaved. Nails had to either be a French tip, manicure, or a full white tip. Freshly tanned. And if she wasn't, it was going to be a problem. Okay? At one point, she talked about how she had a piercing. And then it kind of maybe got hurt and irritated. I don't want to take that out. He took her back. No, you're not. Put them both back in and get that. Whoa. But she said, I didn't want that. Then somewhere in the conversation, prosecution says, as she on the stand, well, where did all of these freak-offs take place? She said they took place in Atlanta, Miami, LA, San Diego, Las Vegas, New York, Ibiza. And we always stayed in high-end hotels. Continental, Beverly Hills, Hiltons, in and out of the United States and the world. There's the trafficking. Well, then at some point they said, well, then, well, where did you get money to do all of this? Okay, I'm HBO Maxing it. I didn't get any money. I didn't have any money. I had zero money. Diddy gave me the money. In so many words, allegedly. So, when I arrived to the door with stacks of cash, it was getting handed to me. That's important to remember. Because nowhere in this did I hear Cassie say, well, I went to the ATM and pulled out $4,000 out of my account. I didn't hear that anywhere. I haven't heard anybody say that she said that. So where was this money coming from? Let's keep going. So do y'all remember? This is where it gets. So they said he had a baby oil, a pool filled with baby oil. And every time Cassie had to dip herself in it with lingerie and heels on. Now, I don't know if this was every time, allegedly, but this happened. Then at one point, well, how long would these sessions or freak-offs last? She said, well, somewhere from 9 hours, maybe to 4 days. Wait, what? Well, when did you sleep? I didn't. I didn't sleep. I was watching one of my favorite movies. I'm paraphrasing. Take your mature minds out. She said I couldn't sleep. I was how high? Off of everything. If you can think about it, she was doing it. And some of them, it was one of these, and I don't even know what this one is called, but I'm going to say it. Where did I put it? So, a G4GB. What is that? Okay? So it was a lot. Catch this. Cassie testifies both days for 8 hours straight. She really loved him, but at times he made her feel horrible and worthless. She broke down in the courtroom for a little bit. Diddy was very aggressive and very abusive. Sometimes when he would get angry, his eyes would be black. Allegedly. I do my homework. Till 2023, she was addicted. And then we wonder why we hadn't seen Cassie for so long, hadn't heard from her. And I'm not trying to be funny, we weren't even thinking about her. We knew the music that she had gave to us. We knew that once she was done with Diddy, we were just like, sadly. But she was somewhere trying to find her life, trying to come back to some type of soul. Because she said at one point, I believe, allegedly, y'all know I got to do it, but I've been doing my homework, I felt just like a hole. She didn't say I felt like a human being or I just felt I felt like a hole. This man made me feel worthless. And then as things start to continue to go on in her testimony on these 2 days, it got worse. She said at times I didn't want to do it. But I knew if I didn't do it, I wasn't pleasing him. There's people even saying that at times, I heard my girl Lauren LaRosa, she said, y'all can still tell that this woman still kind of loves Diddy too. Yes, she's with a husband. Yes, she's got kids. Yes, she's pregnant with one. But the way she still kind of wants to protect him and she's scared to even still tell and she's under oath. That is the damage that he has done to her. So, I didn't want to be. And after years just trying to act like it never happened, because I was numbing myself with medication for years until 2023, because of what I went through starting at 19 until 2023, I've been taking pills to numb myself. Y'all. From 19 until, I don't know the age she was when she was 19 when she met her, and what year that was. If somebody can do some research for me, drop what year did Diddy and Cassie start dating? From that year until 2023, which was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. I have been self-medicating myself, trying to block out the horror that I went through. And I didn't know no other way to do it. I didn't know no other way to do it but then to do what I knew how to do. And if I couldn't get hold of that, I got a hold of whatever I could get a hold of. Especially in the early days. She said it was bad, y'all. So part one story came out. And I thought this was just interesting to know, because this is a crazy person. She didn't even have friends that wanted to be around her because she was attached to Diddy. There was a friend of hers, and Cassie said, yeah, we were getting ready to sit up and take a line, snow down the hill. And Diddy walked in the room. He looked at us. We were sledding. We paid no attention. And boom, Diddy came from out of the room with a wooden hanger and struck her friend over the head with the wooden hanger. She got up like the woman from Tina Turner and said, you ain't got to hit me but once. And never came back. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Cassie lost friendships because of this man, Diddy. Okay? So, we're still with prosecution, y'all. I know defense is some of y'all in the comments is probably defense and ready to get there. We're going to get there to defense today, and I probably won't get into too much of defense today, but I'm going to get into the rest of defense tomorrow because defense really just started today. But prosecution is definitely setting it up. So let me take you back to some of these charges. Well, where is the trafficking? From Atlanta to Miami to LA to Ibiza. Well, where's the racketeering? I didn't have no money, zero. Okay? And we'll get to the arson in just a second. Hope y'all following along with me. You know, it takes a lot to do what I do. And if you ever feel inclined just to bless your boy, you can scan that right there. And I'll love you forever. Because y'all know y'all are really being gagged tonight by what I'm dropping. And I'm doing it the best I can. So if I'm doing good, you can just send me a tip. A nice donation. Somebody, look at that. Oh my God, thank you. Okay, I need some more donations. See, somebody loved me. And y'all, I didn't even ask for an amount. I love that. Because we got to keep the lights on over here, okay? Okay. But it's up. Okay, I'm going to put it back up, but y'all can still Konversation with K. Anything is a blessing. Okay? So, in the last bit of her trials, it got, of Cassie taking the stand, it got really dark, y'all. Cassie said that there were times where she had a UT. There were times where there was sores in her mouth from a bunch of OS. Okay? Because remember, there were many, many men. And might I add, which I just don't think we need to add anything else on to this, but he did not give her one piece of plastic to put on any of those men. And every one of those men, from state to state to state to state to state to state, did he ask her to put anything on the men. So, at times Cassie did get fed up. She got tired. She was in pain. Sometimes she would have to do it even in pain. Sometimes she would have to do it even if she was red, leaking in the water. She described even at times the hotel rooms were so dirty. Just everything just was all on the floors. You name it, it was on the floor. I'm just being honest, y'all. She said it. She said sometimes I was in pain and I had to still perform OS. And while I'm doing that, I'm turning around. I'm not even knowing. I'm getting rammed from the back hit by a car. Bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom. While I'm in pain. Somebody said, well, what happened to the last session, though. You never told us what happens. Oh, I didn't, huh? Well. And this is where I think some of y'all are going to spectate again. But again, until we hear, we have to respect what people are. So people want to say, oh, he's GA. No, he's not. Because there was a one incident that Cassie told us that when there was a escort looking at Diddy in the eye, because he may have been bi, or he may have been GA. But they knew probably what the paycheck was offering. Okay, and I'm a do this horse and whatever I gotta do. So they said that male E was just looking at him in the eyes. And Diddy was like, what is you looking at me for? Allegedly. I've been watching, paying attention, checking my stories. And he said, no, I ain't looking. And bow. Allegedly. But that just also goes to show you that Diddy didn't like for it to. Now, he did with DP, and she did describe that at one point. The first one that took the stand, DP, male E, won. Him and Diddy at one point were doing it together. And she said, I was so high from the movie that I just laid on the ground. And they started to sprinkle me, man. I mean, sprinkle me to the point where I was... And I'm waving, SOS! Yo, no, I'm sorry. I have to be this little bit with it because it's heavy. And if I just told it the way it is, with full details, it would be too much. So that's why I'm saying they're not holding back, P, in the courts. So that's why I say some of this stuff shouldn't have been heard by the kids. Because you're the age, and I agree with you, that your daddy took this young girl on a ride for her life for 10 years. I've been with somebody, and it's been the wild ride of my life. And at times, I don't know why I didn't leave. I could only say and think it was what I thought love was at that time. But knowing what I know now, it was never love. And I think that's what Cassie realized now or after she got of it. In it, I'm willing to do whatever you want me to do because I love you. And if y'all gonna act like you ain't never been there with somebody, girl, you better lay low. Because don't play. We have all been in that place of love where I am, and especially that young love that we thought was love. I wish I could get somebody to talk to me. I know y'all really paying attention, but I don't see these comments moving. From 2007 till 2023, she was numbing herself. I'm pretty sure the first year, so we'll say from 2008, because it was on and popping by 2008. It was on and popping by 2008. Y'all remember back in 2000, I want to say 17, I could be wrong, but the movie Perfect Stranger. They bought that up in court. She said I had a bruise on my arm, the back. And some people are trying to search on the picture. It's on the line, but they're trying to, say you could see the bruise. I couldn't really see it, but she said it was a bruise on her arm. They showed that. They showed pictures of bruises on her back, like this big, where he kicked her in her back. He probably had on one of them New York Timbs like I do and kicked her. Bow, I heard I've heard, and while I read, she one point, the abuse was so bad that when he kicked her in her back, she fell forward, and on the edge of the bed frame, all of this, white meat, blood. And when he would go this bad on her, his team Racketeering. They would take her from hotel to hotel to hide her so we wouldn't see her, y'all. And another thing they were saying that came up in court is that when she would wear bangs, it was because she was trying to cover an eye, a bruise, a mark. Then when she cut her head off on one side and shaded off, I think that was her era of just... Cassie went through it, y'all. This woman was getting abused at any point. She was getting abused at any point. So, back to the last bit of the session. Because at this point, Cassie has told you that I've had sores in my mouth. I've had UTs. I had to do acts when I was on my lady. I had to do all of this. I did it because I love this man. He told me his deepest, darkest secrets, and he was into voyaging, and this is just what he was. And I didn't want to judge him. He had my career in his hands. He told me he was going to give me 9 albums. Everything that I wanted, everything that, as a little girl, that I dreamed about, the stages, the lights. He promised me that. And I was just so in love. Some of y'all probably like, Kenny, you are definitely, K, you are definitely on Diddy's side. I am. I mean, excuse me, Cassie's side. I am. But I'm also on the side where right is right and wrong is wrong. So in the midst of all of that she had to go through, she finally found a way out. And that was that Continental Hotel video that we saw. Allegedly, there was a freak off going on. And I believe it was in the middle of one of the sessions. There was one in the room. The full video is out now for you to see without audio. And it just, she tried to leave. She didn't want to call the cops that day. But the security guard said, well, she left with security, but she still just didn't look comfortable leaving with that security. But then they grilled him up too. Defense tried to grill him up because they said, if you're such a security officer, why wasn't none of this in your report? He didn't take no money from Diddy, but he didn't report it. And we needed that documentation. We had a video, but we needed that documentation. If it's your job to report, see and report, you better report. So, as it wraps up for Cassie to take the stand, we just realized and witnessed everything that she went through. Let me check my notes and see if I left anything out. Addicted till 2023. The UTs would be burning. In her words, it was very painful. And I still had to perform. Sores in my mouth and everything. 9 hours to 4 days. So what the state wanted to do is they wanted us to see the picture and the man of the monster and who he is. And they wanted to paint it out from Cassie. Now, prosecution even asked her, well, why did you settle? Or why did you even ask for an amount? Why did you put an amount? I don't know how they asked her allegedly, but I know this came up. I've been doing my homework. Why did you put an amount on it? She said, well, I wanted to get his attention. And I tried before. I wrote a book. I told him I'm going to tell everybody my story. The man he is with power and money, he said, they ain't going to believe you. And even if they do, I'm going to shut it down. I will end you. We seen the way he talked as he was the Joker to that one actor. We've seen Diddy in his real raw form, y'all. Even down to the point, and I posted this on my story, and I'm going to go post it again, and I want y'all to share it, because America owes Cassie an apology. That man stood on BET's national television stage and said, and to Cassie, for holding me down in the dark times, love. Just because you think now that you've got a new identity and you found a new way in Christ, those sins still exist. Yes, you've been forgiven, but you still may have to pay for what you've done. It was a hard day for Cassie to take the stand. So prosecution, one, opening statements on Monday. They cleared Tuesday. They cleared Wednesday. And defense, I think, was pooping in their boots. Oh, but early today, Thursday morning. And I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to be back here tomorrow. Early Thursday morning, defense was ready to go to work. And even in the midst of this, I'm hoping that the jury still sees that this was just still also a woman in love, but he never had to. Love don't have to look like that. If you love somebody, you know what it looks like and you know what it should feel like at this point. And maybe only the young people that are on that jury may not understand this love story to that degree, but everybody that's about 30 and up, they better understand the assignment. Because defense went in there today, and I'm going to give more on the details tomorrow, but I'm going to just tell you, defense went in there today. Okay? And they said, well, we want to read some of these love messages. Now, that's what I'm calling. Now, prosecution did their part, but defense also did their part. Prosecution would only show us a certain part of the emails. But then defense said, oh, I'm going to show you the entire email. Will this incriminate Cassie? I don't think it's enough. But she sent an email, and one had said, I'm such a lucky woman. I'm about to throw y'all, because I know y'all about to get real confused now. I'm really happy you came to see me in Atlanta, said Diddy. Cassie said, I'll come whenever. Somewhere in the conversation in the email, he said to her, when are you ready for another freak off? Cassie responded in the email, I'm always ready for a freak off. She says in another email, I can't wait to stare at some big black horses. I want it to be so hot. I want to feel it in my and down my. I want it to tease me. Cassie said, I'm thinking about licking them big black horses. I can't wait to stroke the back of that horse. Even at one point, defense pulled up an email where Cassie said, I am so ready. I'll set everything up. At this point, they said the husband was sitting in the courtroom and he was red as these lights. Now, this was also a fear for me, for Cassie, for me that I had. Because I was thinking like, well, you got a Pisces as a husband now. I don't know what Cassie is. I think she's probably a Cancer. I probably just guess, and I feel like maybe she's a Cancer. I could be wrong, but maybe somebody can drop it in the comments. I'm wondering, did you tell that Pisces everything. Even the things you said. Now, granted, y'all, I don't want people to forget that she's been high since 2008. Now, they're going to try to paint these pictures where you weren't with Diddy. So why would you be wanting them? Why would you be wanting these freak-offs if they hurt so bad? If they're so uncomfortable? She said, I loved him. That's real as fuck. I just thought this is what I was supposed to do. If I didn't do this, would he think I loved him? Because what made her intentionally leave in the beginning was that Diddy said, well, okay, if you don't do it, I got women that's going to do this. Because she was just tired and fed up. But then it clicked in her mind, well, wait, I'm not the only one that you do this with? Wow, no wonder I'm burning and itching and scratching and hurting. Not just because you're making me doing it raw with everybody that we doing it with, but I don't know what you're doing when you're not with me. So defense today, I heard, tried to flip all of that on her. Not show part of the email, but show all the email. But I still want y'all to understand. She was 19. We don't develop until 30. I say it. Stuff don't start really clicking until you hit 30. And either you're going to click to stay in the same mindset of that 20-year-old, or you're going to click to start maturing and getting wiser and better. Some of us stay right in the 20s and we just age. Some of us grow with time and get wiser and look better. But in the end of it all, we're 4 days in. From what I also heard today, which was a big bombshell, because there's no sexual relationship here. I hear, allegedly, that Don Richard from Danity Kane is supposed to take the stand, possibly by Monday. Now, I predict that because defense got on today. I heard they had a little argument in the courtroom because they wanted to take their time with making her try to untell what she told, but try to make it seem like this is what she wanted instead of him being an abuser. Because that's their job. They want you to put the words in your mouth for you to make it seem like, well, I did it. Or you to get flustered and frustrated. So they want to take their time trying to rip her apart. The prosecution is like, well, no, sir. And I know what's going to come up next. She's pregnant. We don't need to prolong this. We got other witnesses. We got other people that we can bring to the stand that you could do some pulling to. But we need to respect this. We did 2 days. Y'all do 2 days. I heard that was like an argument today. Now I got to go finish watching how the rest of the day took off. But y'all, where do you stand? After hearing what you heard, and then hearing a prelude of what the defense is trying to set up, where do you stand? I want to know what you stand. Drop it in the comments. If you are rewatching this video, let me know where you stand. Do you think Cassie told all her truth and nothing but the truth? Do you think she played a part in this? It is okay. This is your opinion and can't nobody take it from you. Do you think she played a part in this? Is Diddy innocent? Solely or a little bit? I want to know. I want to know what y'all think. Let me see if a few of y'all got some comments right here. Let me read a few. And then we're gonna say goodnight. I thank y'all for rocking with me. Look at y'all. Still in the building. Make sure y'all share this video. Okay? Well, oh, okay. She's a Virgo? Oh my God. Kathy's a Virgo? Oh. That says it all. Child. Yeah, from him turning red, I don't think she told everything. And I love a Virgo down, but they don't disclose it all. But she knew she was underneath that oath. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Honestly, he's funding the good life. And her life, too. She loved him. And she still... and was still a damn child. Okay? Justice for Cassie. It's not a crime to love hard, and it backfired. Now listen. Prosecution need to put that in their closing statement. It's not a crime to love hard, and it backfired. Ooh, P. I think we need to get a hold of the prosecution. Yeah. Yeah, she was young, and just wanted her dreams. Yeah, absolutely. And we look back and be like, what was I thinking? Absolutely. We have all been there. Like, y'all not going to sit up here and play with me and make me think like we ain't been there. Like, we ain't never been in that kind of love. Now, look, this one right here. Yeah, I can't wait for that either. Because if that's really the case, which I heard it through the grapevine, this was not an intimate relationship that Don and Richard had. So because people were like, well, is this the Cassie versus Diddy? No. And we're not trying to make it that. We're trying for it. What prosecution wants y'all to see is the monster. And she was one of the victims with a lawsuit that went out and got settled in 24 hours. And she did it only because she wanted his attention, she said. So, I don't know. Okay, making the band to the stand. Oh, I want to hear their abuse. We watched it on MTV and made fun of it on Chappelle. We did. And day 26, some of them talked about it. Vlad TV, some of them over there talking about it on his show. So people are talking. My prediction too, that if this all goes the way in prosecution wants it to go, a lot more people will come out with some documentaries. I think just right now, they don't know the state and where it's going to lean to. And they see that he's got these lawyers, and I think they scared of Steele because he just got Young Thug off of a RICO. So they don't know if I should speak up yet. Because if this man gets out, I don't care what y'all say. He's capable of making some moves. Okay? Of course she played a part. He was manipulating her into staying. Absolutely. Manipulation is a real thing. It's not just something we have or go through by default. It's a real thing. And people get manipulated. They get told one thing and their actions speak a lot. You know, you get told, oh, I'm just going to go give massages, but meanwhile, you're getting your backbone out. I'm only speaking from experiences. What does the comment say? He was a predator that thought he could, and no, not, I'm married now. I'm talking about them other niggas that didn't make it. For y'all, because y'all look, you know how the internet is. He's a predator that thought he could get away with it. He does what most abused people do. When they get money and they get the power. I had to add that on there because they get the money and they get the power. It's not fair, but it's what it is. Two wrongs don't make a right. They're both at fault. Okay. All right. That's no argument. That's how you feel. Now, maybe in the comment, you can probably tell me, well, if they're both at fault, do you believe that Cassie should serve some time? Or you don't? Or you think Diddy should have a lesser sentence because, yes, she was manipulated, but you still went along with it, but yes, you still should have did what you did. Is that kind of what you mean when you say both at fault? Blue. That's why Q from Making the Band said he can't talk about it right now. Yeah, he can't. He's scared. Okay, y'all, he's scared. And to be truthfully honest with you, if I would have got into the industry at a young age like I wanted to, I bet you Diddy would have tried to swing his little ass on over here. And God, I thank you. Because, you know, who knows what I would have wanted with. I'm telling you, like I told y'all when I did that first video, Late Night Pipe Conversations to Diddy Part 1, I was a Bad Boys fan. Okay? So, I wanted to be on Making the Band. Because just like everybody else had a dream, we all dream. And you willing to do whatever you want to do for your dream. And people that prey on that, it's not cool. I've been calling him a monster for years, and Lord knows Danny Kane got a lot to say also. Oh, them women got a lot to say. They got a lot to say. They have a lot to say. I wonder if Aubrey O'Day is going to take the stand. Okay, Aubrey, a.k.a. Aubrella. Yep, people with money always think that they have the power and the high career. They do. They do. Ugh. You've been on 50 Cent page, haven't you, Auntie? I am not going to say anything. We will just have to see what time tells. I stand with Beyonce. What is Cassie at fault? Well, you know, and there's a group of people that really believe this. And so this is why I do want to know. I think we had a comment up there from Tamara. Do you mean she's at fault for not leaving and just not leave? I mean, I'm curious to know. Even if this video goes off, please make sure you leave a comment on what do you mean just at fault. I love to have it out there. I love a good conversation. But there is a majority and there's a people and there's a side that feels that this right here. What is Cassie at fault for? Okay? What is he at fault for? What is she at fault for? All right? Auntie, listen. We're going to go ahead and do the benediction. It's time to close the doors of the church. Okay? All right, y'all. Well, it has been a good show. He has. So, I want to make sure that y'all enjoy yourselves. Check out my Late Night Conversation Diddy Part 1. I think when all of this is over, I'm going to make a video to kind of coincide with Late Night Diddy Part 1 and then the Part 2, because I feel like we started off with that and then we got to conclude with all of this. So I think I'm going to just wait to gather all of the evidence and things I want to gather while this trial is going on, and then really do the official video to put out to go with the Late Night Part 1. It'll be like this, but I'll show a video and we'll talk about it to kind of like conclude after closing arguments. So, I'm floored. I'm floored, y'all. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Defense is set up to take Cassie to stand again. Now, if it plays out how they're supposed to, they should be done tomorrow. And if they have time, prosecution is going to bring up their next witness. We don't know who it is yet. Prosecution is ready to bring up their next witness. Cassie should be done after tomorrow. I will be going live again tomorrow, so set that notification bell, okay? I don't want y'all to go listen to it from anybody else because I'm selfish. No, I'm just playing. I love y'all. And I love y'all for rocking with me. Make sure y'all share this video with anybody when y'all start to get to gossiping about the Diddy trial. Just say, okay, girl, come on, we're gonna watch K. We're gonna pull it up and we're gonna be talking with him in the TV and having cocktails with a K and all kind of stuff. Just doing it for me. Okay? We're gonna get we gonna get it. Meet me back here tomorrow at 8 o'clock so we can do this again. We gonna grab a drink tomorrow though, because it's gonna be Friday. And I think I'm gonna need one after defense closes up, or if they try to push it, because I think defense wants to try to push it to where they got the jury thinking about what they said over the weekend. And prosecution don't want that. They want the same amount of equal time, and then they want to bring their witness up next to the stand to leave prosecution thinking about what they want. I get it. It's all strategic. Neither sides are playing. Okay? Defense is fighting for Diddy's life, and prosecution is fighting for the life of people that have went through this kind of abuse that is still going on at these high-end places, state to state. It's just time for people to understand, like, okay, I probably need to start wrapping it up because they about to start coming to clear us. Jeffrey Epstein was one, so we can't just say that we going for the black people. But Jeffrey Epstein went ahead and just said, I'm going to just go ahead and go out of here because I know what they getting ready to do with me. They getting ready to fry me. So it's not a black thing. Let's stop. Let's not even go there. Unfortunately, this is about a man with money and power, and he didn't use it right. And at whatever he did to not use it right, he should be tried for it. Okay? So this is another conversation with your boy K. I appreciate y'all for being with me. If you want to become an official member of the crew, all you got to do is say, I'm loving the crew. And make sure you tune in every Thursday night with Late Night Conversation, because I got to see my crew in the building. And we ain't using that word with a C. We using it with a K, because everything with a K comes from love, because it comes from me. Okay? So if you want to be a part of the crew, don't miss a show. Go back and watch some old shows. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And to the people that came and watched me because you missed me at 8 o'clock, I love you just as much, because you still adding to that number. And if you want to be a part of the crew, let me know in the comments so I can make sure I can put a heart by the author on your comment. All right? I love y'all. Cassie, my prayers are with you. As a Virgo woman, you better tell that Pisces everything and everything. I hope tonight y'all are really having a talk before you get back on that stand tomorrow. Because it's time now. It's time to just tell it all. Show, yeah, and he will understand, but you just got to tell him. Okay? You no more hiding it now. He got to know it all before they do. All right, y'all, let me go, because I will still go. I will still be going. Let me see. Where we at? Okay. Here we go. Night crew. See y'all tomorrow. It's a money and power thing. Okay, Tamara, you be back here tomorrow, because I might need to pull you on the screen so you can have some opinion. P, you be ready tomorrow. Okay? I want to bring a few of y'all up. Ray, Ariel, the crew, y'all be ready tomorrow. You ain't got to have your cameras on, but we're going to have a conversation. I want all of y'all to tell me how you feeling about this. I'm so interested. So let's do this tomorrow. If you're a part of the crew, I'm going to bring you up. And if you're not, you can probably join the crew tomorrow. It's no membership fee. It's no subscription. It's none of that. It's just loyalty and love, right? All right, y'all. It's been fun. There's definitely a lot more that we can have a conversation about, but my time is up. I know. My time is up. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you made it right on time. You here, and I love you. I love you so, so much. Uh-oh, you opened up a can of worms. Girl, we're not even going to talk about OUSD. Look, I come to this platform to get away from work. But y'all come and watch me and support me, and I love y'all. Okay, you better be ready tomorrow. You better be ready, because I'm serious. I want y'all to turn them cameras off or put on your little emoji. I'm going to drop the StreamYard link, and let's talk about it. We'll be day 5 in, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think. I think we're going to do it. I'm going to drop a flyer. We're going to share it. We're going to fill up the room tomorrow. Questions and answers on the Diddy trial. Or opinions and questions and conversations. Conversations and opinions. Diddy, I don't know. We're going to come up with something good. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here, because y'all know I love talking. I got to go. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. We out. Until then, you better have conversations that are meaningful, powerful, and in love. And if you can't do it in love, set a boundary until you heal and do the work within. So that way you can be for who you need to be for everybody else. But until then, protect yourself and your peace. I love y'all. We out. Good night.